So the husband decides to say, well, then walk away and you won't have any problem. Morning crew, and welcome to Vlogmas day 16. I am up and ready. I'm planning on going to volunteer today. So I just got dressed, and then this evening I don't know what the plans are, but I will see you guys later.
6.5 hours later.
So my service shoes that I told you I used to use, or I do use, that are being discontinued, and I got the last pair, finally came in. I am for sure taking back the other two naturalizers, well, 4 naturalizers, because you remember they sent me the order twice. I just need to find a box that's big enough to send all 4 of them back. So here it is. We are unboxing it together. I got them off a website called Shoe Mall. I've never heard of it, and they were only $40, which is cheaper than I've ever paid for them. Here they are. Let's try them on. Unfortunately, I had to get a wide size and my feet are pretty narrow, so hopefully they aren't too spacey. So let's see. They have a lot of room in them. And these don't even really look like the ones I typically wear. Let's do a comparison of my old ones and these. They look different. Or is it just that my old ones are real beaten up? Either way, I'm happy that I have a new pair of service shoes that will get to break in on my next trip, which is this weekend on Saturday. So it's hours later, and I just remembered that I didn't tell you guys what happened on the flight from West Palm Beach to Atlanta yesterday. So let me tell you now. So of course, you know, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me. I posted a picture about go home day, and me and the crew were talking about, you know, how go home day, if something is going to go wrong, that's when it's going to happen, basically. So we start boarding, and I'm in the back of the aircraft. And I hear one of my flying partners tell a passenger, you know, I need you to put your mask over your nose and your mouth. And the passenger turns and replies to her saying, well, I have asthma. I can't keep it over my nose. So my airline has a process of basically, I don't want to consider it vetting, but going through like a official process of them speaking to a physician and letting them know their health conditions. And from that, the physician will either say, yes, they're fit to fly and they're excused from wearing the mask, or no, they're not fit to fly, or no, they still need to wear the mask. So she asked her if she had like an authorized letter, and the lady responded saying no. So now her husband chimes in and he's like, yeah, well, we need to get that letter. And she was like, well, if you don't have the letter, I do need you to put your mask over your nose and mouth. And he's like, well, then you're going to have to resuscitate her on this flight. Now, when I heard that, because I wasn't really listening, but when I heard that, I was like, what? So she was like, well, are you saying that she's not fit to fly? If you're claiming that she'll need to be resuscitated, she shouldn't be flying with us today. That will be putting her in danger. So she puts the mask on, and that was the end of that. We continue boarding. I wasn't sure if my flying partner that had that interaction with the passenger went until the A, which is like the lead flight attendant on that trip. So I went up there and I was like, hey, did she so-and-so update you or inform you on, you know, what happened with this passenger in the back? And he's like, oh, you mean the one who said that she couldn't wear it because it was fogging up her glasses? And I was like, well, she told us she had asthma. And he was like, oh, this story has changed. So I told him, you know, what happened, and he said, well, I'll go and personally speak to her, you know, go through the cabin, make sure everyone's complying to the mask policy, and if she doesn't have her mask on at that time, we will address it again. So he does that, And, you know, he's explaining to her the mask policy is to keep everyone safe, the crew members and your fellow passengers. And we do need you to comply to the policy. He's basically like, you not having your mask on properly is putting me in danger. So the husband decides to say, well, then walk away and you won't have any problem. When I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to turn into a situation that I don't need it to, because I'm trying to commute home. So the A just walks away and he calls the captain, and the captain is like, well, what do you want to do basically? Do you want to take them off this flight? And he was like, no, I would prefer for a supervisor to come and speak to, you know, the passengers, this couple. I don't want to escalate to having to kick them off the flight just yet. So he's like, okay. So they call for the supervisor. The supervisor comes down and explains the situation, like, you know, you need to comply to the mask policy. And the husband is still being rude. And he's like, you've spoken to us like 6 or 7 times. And the flight attendant is like, exactly. We only have to speak to you 3 times. And on the last time, a warning. But I'm trying to work with you because in the official rules, I only have to give you those warnings and then you're kicked off for good. So they both turned their face and put the mask on and basically ignored the manager and the lead flight attendant continuing to speak to them. So we finally leave and I'm like, okay, good. This didn't turn into anything worse, which would delay me. And we're in the air and, you know, we're doing our little service, and this lady decided that she was going to bite half of a chip, chew it for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then bite the next half for the whole hour and 24-minute flight. So the lead flight attendant again had to go up to her and be like, you know, unfortunately, this is not what our airline offers the food for you to use it as an excuse not to keep your mask on. It's been over an hour, and at this point, I need you to put your mask back on. But in this instance, now we all have to write reports because this person is constantly not listening to our direction, her and her husband. So I'm like, please let us get to Atlanta without any more drama, on time, actually early, so I can get to my flight home. So nothing else happened, thankfully. I do have to write a report though, to say my dealings in that whole situation, which wasn't much because I wasn't really communicating with them once the whole mask situation, you know, came a problem. But that is what happened on the last flight. I don't know what it is about the pushback on not wearing the mask. If it is that you really cannot wear the mask or do not care to wear the mask, then I don't think you should be flying. And that's just my personal opinion, because once again, you're putting other people's lives in danger. And that's kind of selfish to me. But that's the end of my rant on the mask policy. You remember like 2 vlogs ago, I told you I got this half zip from Ross, a Nike half zip that I was looking at, and I didn't want to pay full price for it. So this is it. I don't know what this little special finisher emblem means. Honestly, I don't know. But the reason why I was really eyeing it and really liked it was because the sleeves are so long. Like, look at this. And they have the little cute hand pocket area. So I'm happy with my purchase. It's not warm, but it's cute. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow. It's allegedly supposed to be snowing in my city tomorrow, so we'll see if it even happens. I don't have anything planned, so tomorrow may be another boring vlog. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching today's vlog. Comment down below if you're a flight attendant, if you've been having a lot of problems with the mask policy, and if you're not a flight attendant, what your views or your opinions are on wearing the mask. Thank you guys, and have a good night.